Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about how to create a table, but we're actually going to be using Google Docs instead of Microsoft Word. So I thought we'd switch it up a bit. I hope you're excited for it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to be reading you the instructions. I hope that's not too confusing, but I was not able to figure out how to split my screen between two Google Docs. If you can figure that out, please show me because I love learning, and if you can teach me something, more power to you. But I will be putting your instructions in Google Classroom. That way you were able to split your screen and see this. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm creating an example right here just so that you can get started. Let me go ahead and undo everything so that you can see. Okay. So what I'm going to start with is I'm opening Google Docs, and I'm going to start at the very first line, and I'm going to type well, I guess it starts if I type on my iPad, not my computer. U.S. presidents. Please forgive me, I'm looking and typing in different places. U.S. presidents and their dogs. So what we're going to do now is we are going to highlight this title, and we are going to center a line, and we are going to bold. So right here, this A with the lines beside it, this is where we're going to find those features. So we're going to bold them, and we are going to look at the font, make sure this font is Times New Roman, and you're going to make sure that it is 20-point font. So again, Times New Roman, 20-point font, bold, and center aligned. From there, you are going to hit return 2 times on your iPad, and then we're going to start with our columns. So this plus sign right here by your undo and stuff like that, right under my record button is this plus sign. So this is your insert. So you see the table option. We're going to insert a table that has 3 columns. So you want to see right here, this column says 3. In the rows, we're going to increase it all the way to 20. And we're going to insert this table. So this is what your table is going to look like, okay? So this is where you're going to stop. Now, I'm going to kind of stop right here and switch to a different screen. That way you can see what you're going to be typing. I'm going to show you this image on Google Classroom. That way you can see exactly what you're typing. So let me just switch over to this project really quick. Okay, so this is what you're typing. So we found all of the first 20 presidents, what type of dog they had, and we'll say what type of dog they had, that was the breed, and that dog's name. Okay, so this is this third step, or sorry, this is the next step. It's so important that you follow these steps in order. Okay, now after you have typed everything, we want to go to this. Don't want to do that. Okay, I'm glad I did that. If you make a mistake, just hit that undo button. So you really want to make sure that you're just highlighting, selecting this first row with the column titles. We are going to center align. So it will probably look like this when you're typing. We're going to center align. We're going to bold. We are also going to italicize these column titles. We're also going to add a color of your choice. So all the way over here, there's this paint bucket that I think a lot of us are familiar with, and you're going to pick any color that you want. However, the catch is make sure that the color is not too dark that we can't see those column titles. So I'm going to pick pink because y'all know pink's my favorite color. So that's about as dark as you want it. You can go with that neon color. I think I'm going to pick that one. Again, make sure you're only highlighting and shading that first row. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the very, very bottom, and I'm going to actually select that last row. And what I'm going to do with this last row is I'm going to insert another row underneath it. So down here where it says John F. Kennedy, his dog's name was Shannon, and it was an Irish Cocker Spaniel. So I'm going to add another row below it. This is the second to last icon. So it's a little box with the plus sign on the bottom. this is going to add another row. So as you can see, this whole row, it's still in columns. Now, this icon right beside it has those arrows pointing together. This is what's going to merge those cells. Merge means like if you're driving, how you merge into another lane, like you're joining things together. So when we merge these cells, we're actually going to be joining these 3 cells into one. So by clicking on that, we've created one cell. And I want you to be very careful about this, because if you click on this button and those 3 cells are not highlighted together, or maybe if you just have those 2 cells highlighted, this is what's going to happen. So I want you to be very careful, make sure that you have selected all 3 cells to merge. And in this last row, what you're going to do is you're going to type my favorite dog name on this list is, and then you're going to insert your favorite name. Now, right here, this section right here, don't type this, okay? Don't type that. That's just me telling you what it is. You tell me what your favorite dog name is. So if I'm going through this and I'm looking, I don't know what my favorite name is. I think I like Vito. My favorite dog name is Vito, because y'all know I like Big Brother, and Vito reminds me of Big Brother, so I'm going to go with Vito. So that's all you're going to do. I do want to just remind you of a couple of things before you submit. Your title, bold, centered, Times New Roman, 20-point fonts. Column titles should be column titles. Let me double check before I tell you this. Your column titles should be bold, italics, and you need to center the column titles only and pick a color. Make sure that the whole table itself is, let's go pick our text and make sure that whole table itself is Times New Roman and 12-point font. And this is what your project should look like when it's done. So you'll take a screenshot of this. Now, here's a hint. You might need to zoom out and hold while you take that screenshot. Okay, so you might need to use maybe a couple fingers at the same time. Please let me know if y'all have any questions. I think this will be a fun project. I'll be really curious to see what y'all's favorite name is, and especially if you like Big Brother. I hope y'all picked Vito.